And as far as elevating myself to pod boss or to second in charge, that was unexpected. Literally, Josh walked up to me one day. He's like, "Hey, man, can I talk to you?" And I'm, yeah. Hey, man, I'm getting ready to get out of here. And in fact, it was the following week, and he said, "Look, dude, you get along with everybody. I don't want the white guys to automatically go to war all the time over every little thing." He says, "You seem like you're a reasonable dude. I'm leaving for prison next week. I want you to take over." And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Yes." That was awkward, and I'm glad I got pulled before I had to take over, because I don't know how that would.
You were gonna lead the whites, the woods.
Yeah,
you were gonna be the head Nazi dude.
Yeah, I was groomed to be Adolf himself. So I was growing my mustache accordingly. And
that would have been great. That would have been great if you grew the mustache, and he was just like, "Hey, what's with the mustache though? We don't do that. That's no, not anymore. No, that's a. Sorry.
That's how.
Now we're going to start off with, as is tradition, with the White People Rule anthem. Play the White Snake song. Drink some. Yeah, we're eating some white chocolate and talk about how much the other races are ass. That's pretty much.
You'd be surprised how many conversations I had to listen to from Josh that it was just like, wow. It was like, dude, you really are messed up, man.
I did like one scene that was in particular stuck out to me where, with the editing, like you said, I don't know if this was one of the first times, one of the last times you talked to Josh, but it was you guys talking in the cell, cameras looking at it, and the little chyron or whatnot at the bottom is saying, like, Josh is introducing Mark to a lot of his ideas about things. And then, like, it shows you, because you're the one facing the camera, like, nodding, like, sagely, like, oh, interesting, fascinating. Hadn't considered that angle before. And then Lord Farquaad turns around to leave, and then you get towards that camera and you just go, holy fuck. And it's just like, you just realize in that moment, it's like, oh, Mark's got to pretend to be a white supremacist for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And so that ultimately, actually, that meeting you're talking about, I think that was where they talked about how us white people are better than the black people. And as a result, we are going to act like it. And I was like, oh, great. What have I gotten myself into? Hey, how do I tap out?
You're like fucking, what was his name? Steve, where he's walking around rubbing both shoulders at one point. That guy. Yeah. I'll blow this whole operation. Like, you're a bitch.
Dude, if we all go down together, though, we should start our own gang.
No.
We'll do
We'll name it after me. We'll call it the Woods.
Just
a thought.
Well, I mean, it's already an established brand. We have to buy into it. We can be like, we're still the Woods. We're kind of like the Confederate flag, where now we're going to pretend it's about something different. That's a real
I was back just to tell you, sometimes 60 days in isn't a good thing, especially if you work in law enforcement. I was back in the jail, and this guy is like, "Hey, wait a minute, you're from the TV show 60 Days In, aren't you?" And I'm like, "No, never done. What show is that?" "Oh, you're from 60 Days In." "No, that's not me. He must be a good-looking dude, though, because if he looks like me, I mean, doggone." And anyway, it turned out this guy was pretty high. He was like a lieutenant in the Aryan Brotherhood, and he wanted to talk to me about how I was able to infiltrate the Woods. So I never had that conversation with him. I wasn't too pleased that he recognized me as the guy that infiltrated the Woods.
I don't know if I'd want to talk to him either.
Yeah.
But it would be
that
really
was weird.
Interesting. Wouldn't it? Yeah. It would be, you know what? I would call, because it'd be too interesting to pass up. You'd be thinking, like, what the hell is he going to ask? What's he going to say? What am I going to garner from this conversation? Like, it
goes one way or the other, because it could be, "Dude, what'd you do?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, fist bump and this, that, and the other." Or it could be, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm a lieutenant in the Aryan Brotherhood, and now I'm going to whoop butt because that'll give me street cred." So I never gave him that opportunity.
So it's like the Aryan Brotherhood, the main one, and then the Woods. So like the Aryan Brotherhood,
they're kind of an offshoot, from my understanding.
And then Tide Detergent would be, the Woods.
Wait,
Yeah.
which one's the Aryan Brotherhood?
I was saying like Johnson and Johnson being the big Aryan Brotherhood,
okay.
and Tide detergent is the Woods, like just one.
I think Woods.
Oh, I don't
like,
think so. I think it's more of a Dawn versus Palmolive thing, competing peers. No?
that might be.
I was thinking Tide versus Walmart. Like the offshoot.
So the Aryan Brotherhood is like, we're the Tide. People know who we are. You guys are starting your bullshit. Nobody's buying generic.
Yeah.
They want to be in the real AB.
Yeah.
And I did like how some of the I like to imagine myself that if I was in jail and I had to join a gang and I had to be like you did in the woods of the Aryan Brotherhood, and you make it high up enough, they want to give you a tattoo. Do you think so let's say you were in there for real and they get to the point they want to give you a tattoo and you have to accept because now you're second in command. They see you're not tatted up. Do you think it would fly being like, you know what, guys, one step at a time, let's start out with the eagle, just the eagle, no
But
SS,
a very generic eagle.
just
Very
a generic eagle. You can put some angles on it, but let's, be tactful about it, but you can't let them know you just want the eagle. Or is it just like, no, you get a swastika, bitch. You're part of us now. I would imagine.
I think I would go for the generic eagle because if someone saw me with my shirt off, I could be like, America, America.
See, I would get the swastika.
You can't really pull that off with a swastika.
I'd get a
No.
and then as soon as I leave, I'm just a big fan of Windows 10.
I like this idea that Mark becomes the number one guy, the head of whites only one day, and says, you know what? Now that I'm in charge, we're going to stop being racist. We're going to get along with everyone. I am in charge.
Like, we got
We have a lot of Bible studies, man, and a lot of fist bumps.
Yeah.
I would make it mandatory. But, people give me crap for fist bumps. This was pre-corona days, mind you. Fist bumps give you 95% less bacteria than a handshake, so you can call me a visionary.
That's true.
I
Especially
will.
the way these guys are shaking hands where it's grab and pull and grab again. That's spreading so many germs.
Yeah. There could be hugs involved.
Hugs, kisses.
Chest bumps. Well,
Do you know how
hold on, take a
easily-
step back.
You know how easily corona transmits through the porous tissue in your asshole? Very easily.
Yes, I do know. Don't ask me how.
Yes, I do. I'm COVID paused.
Not sure about that one.
Bit of a bug chaser.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Well, it wasn't voluntary.